My God, I hate drugs.
President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Hawang mamuno para sa pagbabago. Awa na ang
Please be seated. Good afternoon, Mr. President and distinguished guests. Today, we will witness the President enact into law two important legislations. May we request the President to sign the Universal Health Care Bill. This is an act instituting universal health care for all Filipinos, prescribing reforms in the healthcare system and appropriating funds therefor. This law ensures that all Filipinos are guaranteed equitable access to quality and affordable health goods and services, and protection against financial risks through a systemic approach in clear delineation of roles of key agencies and stakeholders towards better performance in the healthcare system. Thank you very much. May we request SEC Officer in Charge, Commissioner Antonieta F. Ibe, Commissioner Efiro Luis B. Amatong, SSS President and CEO Emmanuel Dook, Senator Juan Miguel Subiri, Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel III, Representative Arlene Arcillas, and Representative Virginal Biron to come forward.
May we request the President to sign the revised Corporation Code?
This is an act providing for the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. This law incorporates international best standards and practices into Philippine commerce and business to address present-day realities. It also encourages the creation of new businesses, contribute to the ease of doing business, strengthens corporate governance, better protection to the rights of stockholders, minimize or deter corporate business fraud, strengthens anti-corruption measures, and fortifies the regulatory authority of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you very much. May we request everyone to please take their seats.
We will also witness the President's presentation of 4 equally important pieces of legislations.
May we request DILG Secretary Eduardo M. Año, Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel III, House Majority Leader Fredinil Castro, and Representative Roger Mercado to come up the stage.
And now, may we request the President, together with Senate President Soto and Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Executive Secretary Salvador Mijaldia, Secretary to the Cabinet Carlo Alexis Nograles, to present Republic Act 11-198.
Republic Act number 11198 is an act providing for the reapportionment of the province of Southern Leyte into 2 legislative districts. Thank you very much. At this point, may we request Social Security Commission Chairperson Aurora C. Ignacio together with Senator Ralph Recto, Senator Richard Gordon, Representative Mark Go, and Representative Michael Romero to come up the stage. Next is Republic Act 11199, an act rationalizing and expanding the powers and duties of the Social Security Commission to ensure the long-term viability of the Social Security system, repealing for the purpose Republic Act Number 1161 as amended by Republic Act Number 8282, otherwise known as the Social Security Act. Thank you very much. May we request Senator Emmanuel Pacquiao, Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel III, Representative Mark Aaron Sombar, and Representative Conrado Estrella III to come up the stage. This is Republic Act Number 111214, an act establishing a sports complex to be known as the Philippine Sports Training Act and providing funds for the acquisition of property, construction of facilities, including its administration, maintenance, and management of the center. Thank you very much. May we now request Senate President Pro Tempore Ralph Recto, BSP Deputy Governor Maria Almazara C. Tuaño Amador, and Representative Henry Ong with Representative Ben Evardone, Representative Estrelita Swansing, and Representative Dakila Carlo Cua to join us on stage. And finally, Republic Act Number 11211 is an act to strengthen the country's gross international reserves, amending for the purpose Sections 32 and 151 of the National Internal Revenue Code as amended, and for other purposes.
Thank you. May we request everyone to be seated. At this point, may we request the National Treasurer, Rosalia De Leon, to join us in front as the BHP will hand over the 4 billion pesos check dividends to the Bureau of Treasury to be witnessed by our President and our distinguished guests on stage. Thank you very much. May we now call on the Executive Secretary to introduce the President.
Magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat. Isang malaking karangalan na ipakilala ko sa inyo ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Salamat po. Kindly take your seats. Former President and House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and the other members of the House of Representatives, Senate President Vicente Soto and the other honorable members of the Senate, Executive Secretary Salvador Mijaldia, Secretary to the Cabinet Carlo Alexei Nograles, and the other members of the Cabinet, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased with you to be with you today. Well, at least we have been one of the eventful measures is the reapportioning of Leyte. This will end the communal wars between two cousins. Yan lang pala ang solusyon eh. You do not have to shoot the helicopter of the other guy. That is not proper politics. In coordination with concerned agencies in facilitating the passage of the key legislative measures, which would further support this administration's development agenda for inclusive growth, where no one will be left behind, hopefully. The laws that we pass today will surely make a positive impact on the lives of our people and foster a business environment that is conducive for trade and investments. Two of these legislative measures will improve our existing health care and pension services, which will benefit the poor and the vulnerable, always. The reason, by automatically extolling our citizens into the National Health Insurance Program and expanding field health coverage to include free medical consultations and laboratory tests. The Universal Health Care Law that I signed today will guarantee equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare services for all Filipinos. The Social Security Act of 2018 also expands the investing capacity of the Social Security Commission, enabling the SSS to generate better income for members and pensioners. I also signed today the revised Corporation Code, which seeks to simplify corporate governance standards and establish a more business-friendly environment that will enable corporations and other juridical entities to thrive. The amendment of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Charter would also strengthen the BSP's financial stability and grant it more flexibility in the exercise of its regulatory powers. The amendment comes at a fitting time when the BSP is remitting to the national government partial dividends amounting to 4 billion pesos. This will come a long way to funding priority programs of the administration. We are also training and presenting today the Philippine Sports Training Center Act, which will establish a center for athletic development that will help maximize the potential and competitiveness of our local athletes. Lastly, the Act reapportioning the province of Southern Leyte will help ensure an even more adequate representation in Congress, enabling us to address the needs of the constituents from the two other legislative districts, and hopefully to promote peace and order in that province. I hope the last incident of shooting down a helicopter of your opponent will be the last violence in that province. Dito ba si Udong? Sorry, related ako sa kanila eh. Sabi ko sa kanila nung magpatayan na lang kayo para yung ibang mga kadugo natin may panahon na umakyat. The passage of these laws attest to how much the government can achieve when the executive and legislative branches work hand in hand in achieving a common legislative agenda. I hope that Congress will continue to be our steadfast partner in enacting laws that will significantly improve the lives of our people, especially those who need it. Let us work together in enabling our countrymen to lead more meaningful, productive, peaceful, and prosperous lives that we all deserve. May I beg your kind indulgence if I may add just a few statements. This is just for your own consumption. It does not really ask for anything or even to suggest what you should do. But the news that you hear every day about the floating drugs all around the country is that really we have confirmed that Sinaloa and the Medellin cartels are in the trade now. And it's cocaine. It has always been cocaine from Mexico. But now, since meth is cheaper and more, I think, toxic for the addicts, we are buffeted from all sides. One coming by boat, by the air, and even from the United States, shipping small amounts of. We are at war. I remember, and this has been kept outside of public knowledge, but I suppose that Secretary Alunan of the DILG before, 4 days or 5 days ago, came out with a statement that as early as during Ramos' time, he was called by the DEA, that is the department that takes care of the enforcement of drugs, that at that time his attention was called by America that we are sailing into a dark horizon of dark, and it could be a state narco-politics before we knew it. And I am declaring war. I am not declaring a punitive police action. It cannot help. It will not help. So early on I decided, but I think I'd be more, I said, harsher in the days to come, because hopefully I cannot see a country of mine. I'm not speculating on my competence or ability, far from it actually. Nobody can solve it in due time. Pero gusto kong tapusin ko talaga to sa panahon ko. I have the 3 years left, and I'm putting notice to everybody. And the same sloganeering, maybe it leaves a bad taste in the mouth every time I say it, but I have to say it. At least you are forewarned. I will not allow my country to be destroyed with drugs. I will not allow my country to end up a failed state because of drugs. And I am declaring war. And I said, I will kill anybody who stands in the way. And also for those guys who keep on with their business of importing, be they Mexicans or Chinese or Filipino. If you continue to feed our children with drugs, there's no way that talagang maabutan ko kayo at papatayin ko kayo. That's, I'm ready to accept the consequences. I'm ready for hell. But I will never, never preside over a nation that would deteriorate in my presence. Hindi ako din. And I'm willing to gamble on this. Ayoko talaga. Not my country, not during the time that I am president. Mamatay ako sa hiya. So why should I die in shame? Sila yung mamatay. And we have improved the, I don't know. Why should I suffer in agony and sorrow? It is not the job of government to be sorrowful. It is for the criminals to avoid the streets. And our children and the citizens must be free any time to use the public streets and public lands. That the citizen can go anywhere. I don't want to mention a name, but I said they must be able to travel at night safe and sound, because those public streets, alleys, and public places belong to the people of the Republic of the Philippines. Kaya there might be some, and I really do not blame it. Kanya-kanya tayong advocacy. Once upon a time, I was a young lawyer, and I took the cudgels of my clients. Pareho man siguro kami ni Sal, 72. Then I became a prosecutor. And I took the case for the people of the Philippines versus the lawyers of the people of the Philippines are the prosecutors. Then I became a mayor, and I had to protect public interest, public safety, public order, public health. And so I tried to be one. And I did it. Now that I am president, my duty, reduced in 2 sentences, would be something like to protect the people and preserve the Republic of the Philippines. That I will intend to do and more. Hindi sa panahon ko, not the NPAs, not the Abu Sayyaf, not the drug people. Alam mo kasi, just give me, may usapan ba kayo dik magkape? Yung social dysfunction ang ayaw ko. Because if the breadwinner of a family goes down, everything in that family becomes dysfunctional. Money intended for food on the table is no longer there. Money intended for the little expenses of the education of the children is no longer there. And the relations between the wife and the husband, wala na rin yan. The husband becomes impotent, he becomes jealous, he molds the wife. On the other side is itong mga drogista, when they take shabu, it's accompanied with always with alcohol. That was they get violent. They go inside the houses of people, rape the children, rape a 4-year-old. Look, if you do that, you don't deserve any day here. Pag magganong ka, you to me, you're a garbage. If I shoot you there, you're just a carcass sa akin. Putang ina, basura ka lang. Look, itong mga human rights, I agree with you. Life is sacred. We do not want to kill people. It's an unsettling thought when you sleep at night, especially if you commit a mismatch or nagkamali ka, and it happened. And it will bug you all throughout your life. But you see, the number of people killed, how many? 5,000? Police say it's 5,000. Sabi ng ilan? 50,000? Dagdagan mo pa. Dagdagan mo pa. Kasi ganito yan. Bato, when he counted, was 1,600,000. Adre, Manila lang yun. They were canvassing the guys appearing on TV a few months ago, lining up in public streets surrendering. But you know, the slide rate is always in a scale of the average failure is something like 7. Yan, babalik tagalan ng babalik yan until they become inutil. And the favorite line of the usual hula people who are rich are accepted. People who are rich do not use meth. That is intended for the poor market because it is affordable. The rich idiots in this country use cocaine, hashish. Hindi stupido yung mga yan kasi alam nila maging gunggong ka. And on that this sordid incident in Cebu, the parents came to me. So pwede nang patayin yan. Hindi yung kamera, yung ulo ninyo. Kita mo nga, naka-red dyan. The camera directly in front of me is on red. Patay na yan. Ngayon, yung bang sa Cebu, pumunta dito ang nanay pati tatay. And of course, the loss of a beloved daughter. Ang ganda pa naman ng bata. 19 years old, a medical student. Nagreklamo siya, they want justice. Pero nakita nila na recover ng forensic examination, pati yung she was the one who was actually texting another girl na maghati sila doon. Kasi yung isa, reserban niya para sa kanyang boyfriend. Yung missing until now. And to make a long shot guess na galing sa boyfriend, eh siya yung may hawak eh. Siya nga nagsabi doon sa text para ito sa boyfriend niya. So, hindi ko maano sa nanay pati tatay na can almost, I wanted to cry with them. Not because na sentimental ako, but the profound sorrow ng may anak rin ako eh.